Okay guys, Luke here. I just wanted to say, before I get started with the video, everything that I'm going to present to you now, what you guys do with it is down to you. Don't ever invest money that you can't afford to lose. Always do your own research. What you do is your own action. I am not forcing anyone to do anything. I'm not forcing anybody to act or do anything. I am just simply sharing information that I've worked out and others have shared with me, and I'm just simply sharing information for you guys to speculate and contemplate in your research. Okay, with that being said, let's get started. First and foremost, I wanted to say congrats to everyone who bought Bitcoin at the start of this year or before. Bitcoin yesterday hit $800, but instead of just touching 800, I thought it was going to touch 800 and dwindle back down to 790 and kind of and then do another surge up, like in bits and pieces, like it has done. No, Bitcoin pretty much blew 800 out the water, and it's now currently on December 22nd of December 2016. It's 9:30 over here in the morning. It's now $870. 870. Look at that. So, with that being said, I just want to say well done to everyone who was patient. Patience does pay off. I mean, look at that. It's really, so it's really going up high. So well done. Your patience is going to pay off. So well done to everyone who took the risk, who put their money took their money out of the banking tyranny of paper money and put it into something that actually is innovative. So great job, team, with that. So well done. Just want to say well done to people, and keep up the good work and just stay patient, because this technology is seriously undervalued. Alright, so with that being said, I'm now going to go to the next bit now and talk about the behavior patterns of Bitcoin. That's what you're here for. So give me 2 seconds. Okay, so this is where it gets interesting now. What I'm going to talk about is something called basically the Bitcoin bubble surge formula. In case you don't already know, Bitcoin has spiked twice already since its creation. Big spikes, and there's been a regular pattern behind it. And a lot of you guys have sent me a lot of information. Like, a lot of you guys have actually done that, which is great. Keep doing it, man. And I have said I'm going to do a video about this, so I'm now doing it. And also I've been doing some research, and so I've kind of brung in together what I think will happen and what the research is telling me. What the proof in the pudding is saying. There seems to be an equation behind it, like a formula. There is definitely a pattern, and I'm going to go through it. I'm going to show you guys right now what I think. Okay, so let's look at spike number 1, for example. So let me just make sure this is recording. It is recording. Yep, good. So spike 1 was in 2010 to 2011, when Bitcoin was around 6 cents. It surged up to $30, and then it came down again. So I suppose, so you guys are thinking, well, so what? Bitcoin's always spiking up and down. Alright, good point. Now, this equals a growth, 500 times worth of growth from 6 cents to $30. So, if we just simply times 6 cents by 500, that's $30. So, give or take, we're pretty we can all agree to that, right? And we can all put our thumbs up to that. So let's look at this other chart. Now and again, it looks very similar, very, very similar. In the second spike, which is the one that's more famous, Bitcoin in mid to late 2012 started its second surge. It was on, it was on. From a price of around $2.05, it went up ultimately to $1,147, so $1,147. which equals around 559 times of growth. So again, let's throw out the calculator. So again, when I say 500 times, it's give or take, you know. But, and again, this is all speculation. But there is a pattern that I've noticed. Other people have noticed too. Divide that by. So you know, it's if you can see the $2.05, blah 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 blah. But again, you can see the pattern. There is definitely a recurring pattern, right? I think you guys are agreeing to this. You guys aren't stupid. You guys know. So, what the hell, man? How do you even figure this out? And why is it doing this? Well, we got to look back a minute. Let's look at the other one. Do you see the small surges just before the big one? These small little bumps. Yeah, see, right there. Now, let me go on to the next one. Okay, so let me get the other one up. So here we've got something called a bubble surge chart, and to understand these surges with Bitcoin, we have to understand what is really going on. So we're going to break it down, and this has been given to me. I've got full permission to show you this information, and I've come to the same. A lot of what I've been told and what you guys have sent me, it kind of backs up what I already what I've already worked out in my head, and kind of what my conclusions have come to as well. So we got like a bubble, surge, broken down. So what usually happens is with Bitcoin as a whole, we are around, I would say, as a whole. I mean, let's zoom out for a quick second. The grand scheme of things, in terms of where Bitcoin is in its entire span up to 2140, I would say we're still here, around here in the smart money bit. Okay, institutional investors are starting to come into Bitcoin now. And the SEC is currently reviewing some type of exchange or something with Bitcoin, some kind of investment system. So we're around here. We're coming into this stage now soon, very soon, especially when the 2020 halving comes. We're going to go into here soon, but we're still around here. This is where the smart money is. Okay, so we're in the transitional phase, I would say, and that's we're still around the takeoff point, as we've seen the big surge over the last 24 hours. Takeoff. So you don't want to be here. You don't want to be here, and you especially don't want to be there. But I mean, even here is better because you can buy in very, very low. Your risk is a bit lower, but you don't want to buy here, and don't buy when the public are buying. That's when people are just, as this says, mania phase. Okay, greed, delusion. It will just emotions will just cloud your judgment, man. Trust me. We're here right now, so we're in a good time. I just want to get that across straight away. We're not here yet. We will be, and I'll do a video on that in the future. But we're here at the moment. Okay, we're here. So if we look at how a bubble works, there's basically the mean. Okay, so here, see this bit here? You've got the mean, and that's basically the average price, where it started and when it will kind of come. Basically where it's settled, where there's more support, consolidation, and where it's not really causing too much of a stir, whether it's positive or negative. So if we look at this in more detail, I spoke about the mean. If we look at this in more detail, let's look at the bear trap. So you've got takeoff, you've got the mean, and then you have takeoff. You get the first initial surge, and then it goes into something called a bear trap. And then what happens then? The bear trap, you times that up by around 8, you get your initial high, your new record high, and then you get something called a bull trap. That's when people start buying really high, loads of hype, but then they end up losing a load of money because what comes up must come down, as we saw in 2013 and in 2011. So this is so basically this is like a well-known price pattern. It's happened twice already. So the proof's all there for you guys to see. If you don't really buy this, that it has happened, and I've even shown you with a calculator that this has happened. Currently, for what me and a few others that I've spoken to think, we're now in the third major bull market right now. We're in the third surge, ultimately. Whether or not you think so, you got to look at the patterns, because you got to think Bitcoin's halving, where the mining rewards for halving, for creating new Bitcoins, when it halves, it creates more difficulty and it creates more demand, and the supply is more difficult. It's going to affect the price. It's going to affect the price no matter what. It's not going to happen straight away. It usually happens a year or so after, like what we're starting to see now, where it's starting to happen a few months down the line. Well, we haven't seen nothing yet. So what usually happens is you get 2 good years and 2 bad years. When I say bad, it's just where it comes down and it settles down. It comes down and it then prepares for the next major run. The charts have shown this. So that, because remember, Bitcoin is based on supply and demand. Only 21 million of these are ever going to be made by 2140. 90% of these things, of Bitcoin, is going to be made. Is going to be in circulation in 2020. What do you think that's going to do for the price then, when the next halving comes, when mining rewards go down from 12.5 Bitcoin to 6.25? What do you think is going to happen to the price then? And so on and so on and so on. As the technology is growing and becoming more accepted and bigger investors come into this, it's very likely that this is going to reach crazy highs. Now, we want to be where the smart money is. We don't want to be where the public is. We want to be where the smart money is, and even the institutional investors in the early stages, because that's where there's still huge money to be made, and the risk is lower. Anything can happen. Nothing is ever set in stone, so we have to minimize our risk at all times. That's why I said to you guys at the start, do your research after looking at this. I will personally email you guys this PowerPoint if you want it. You gotta ask me. If you don't ask, you don't get. Put your email address in the comments, or message me, or email me, for yesformotivation@gmail.com. I've got the permission to use the information that you guys have given me, so I will email it to you guys, and you guys can go through this as well. Make your own videos. I'll support it, I'll share it. I'm not trying to be selfish here. This is for all of us. So the equation, the formula, you have the mean, the takeoff point. Look at the chart. Times by 100, by about anything from around 100 to 125 equals the first small wave. That's what I believe we're going through right now. You then look at the bear trap, where it kind of has like a sell-off point where it dips down. You times that. You times the small wave high by 0.33. You have then the bear trap. Times that by 8, you get your all-time high. Simple as that. From low to high, it's around 500 times, give or take. So the proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the graphs. Okay, so if you're still paying attention, so I don't know if you can see the mouse cursor, but here, the first surge there. So takeoff was around, I don't know, anything from March to early May of 2011. Then you've got in late May, early June, 2011, you've got the bear trap. Then you times that by 8, and you have the spike. You have up to $30 in summer 2011. Okay, same again here. I don't know if you can see the cursor again, so I'll just do that. You got the first mini surge here. The mean takeoff point was around $2.05, give or take. It goes up to, and then the bear trap here happens in sort of January, was it 2013, spring 2013, so April time perhaps, I don't know. And then it retraces and comes up again. You times that bear trap by 8, and then you have your all-time high. Okay, and that's the bull trap. That's where a lot of people put money in too late. That's when all the hype was. You want to be buying this, doing this when there's nothing going on, when no one even knows about it. Okay, because the technology is undervalued, and we're still in a good chance. So that's the recap done. Okay, so pause it, have a look at it, go through it, and again, give or take these numbers, but this is a pretty solid equation in my books. From what my research has been done with this, and from what other people have telling me, it kind of all fits into place. I agree with it. What you guys have sent me and told me and kind of shown me and taught me as well, it's kind of backed up what I was already kind of thinking as well. So that's good. That's good, right? So where are we now? Where are we at the moment in 2016? At the end of late 2016, and are we near the first sell-off point? Are we still in the takeoff point? Are we already in the new paradigm part? Are we in the surge? Where are we? I'm going to let you know right now. Yo, back. I got to reset the screen recorder because there's like a 10-minute cap on it or something, so I have to stop it and start. It's a good recorder though. It's pretty cool. Right. So where are we now? Bitcoin today. So here we are. Now I started doing this, putting this together, sort of over the last few weeks, and I didn't actually factor in today's surge. Hence why I mentioned it at the start of the video. We're at a point where we're past the breaking point now. We are in the third Bitcoin bubble / spike / surge, whatever you want to call it. We are pretty much. I mean, we're past this part now. You know what I mean, this is. How can I put it? I'm gonna read it. So, if we follow the formula that I just discussed with you guys, the low of around $177 to $200 in the summer of 2015, when Bitcoin was quite low. Well, quite low for Bitcoin anyway. That was the low. So that was basically the takeoff point of this. That was the mean. This when it was a bit more stable. It was more volatile, day by day, but it was very low. There wasn't. People were kind of losing faith in Bitcoin. So what will happen? What's going to happen with what happens with these surges is that these surges take longer and longer to happen as the time goes by. So this surge. The surge in 2013 was quite quick, it was quite a violent surge. It happened very fast, like a flash. This is happening much more slowly and much more gradually. So keep that in mind. So we're now. So what is here? What I'm basically going to say to you: believe it or not, do your research. The first small wave will be to 15,000, around sort of perhaps early 2017, maybe March. I think a little bit later it could happen, but from what we've seen today, who knows. Then what we'll probably get is a correction. So remember this bit, the first sell-off. So let's just pretend this is present day. We're at the moment around we're at the takeoff point now. We've hit $750. So that's the takeoff point. We've hit the takeoff point. We're surging now, and there's going to be a few dips along the way. But I think we could hit some phenomenal prices as the year goes by. Well, then what will happen? We'll get a bear trap along here, and if history, remember, if you want to know your future, look at your past, look at history. If history is anything to go by, when it settles down and comes down to wherever it will be, now according to this data, it'll be around 5,000, from 15,000 to 5,000. It will then spike up to phenomenal prices. You times it by 8. Okay? So if the patterns are gonna stay, if it's gonna happen a third time lucky, we could be seeing prices of around 40,000 by 2017, late 2017, 2018 perhaps, which would make sense because it goes in line with the 2 good years after the mining halving reward, the mining reward halving, and then 2 not so good years. So around 2018 we could see some massive prices, potentially, theoretically. Okay, nothing's ever set in stone in this world. You know, anything can happen. So here, when this mouse works, thank you. You've got the low of $177 to around $200 in summer of 2015. The first small wave to 15,000 is basically being stretched out. We're now in that wave now. The wave is fully happening, as you've seen. From what others have said to me around the issue, it could happen by February, and I wouldn't even rule it out. So let's say spring 2017. You're going to get a price correction. Of course, you're going to get a price correction. What comes up must come down. People sell for profit, or just sell off and then buy when it's cheaper. So you get around $5,000 for your Bitcoin in the summer or fall of 2017. But then you times that by 8. Potentially, if it does hit these prices, it may even hit half of that price. But it's still but the formula seems to be still working. And even if it doesn't hit $5,000, I mean, the price even now, I mean, it's just crazy money, and it could reach 40,000 Bitcoin by sort of 2018, perhaps theoretically. So $177 times 110 growth, 15k or more perhaps, or a bit less. Then you got the, like I said before, you got the bear trap. Then you times that by 0.33. Remember, put the decimal point in as well. And then you got $5,000 times it by 8 for the big surge up, the grand finale as they call it, and you get 40,000 or around that, a new all-time high, a new paradigm. Okay. So again, this is give or take, but it may be more, it may be a bit less, but the formula has seemed to be working, and it seems to be working as we speak right now. Also, other things to put into consideration is if segregated witness goes live, most likely by next year, you're going to see some big hard surges that could really push it up as well. Because I won't go into that now, but yeah, it could really make a difference. So that's pretty much it. Hope you guys didn't get too bored. What do you guys think? Do you guys agree or disagree? What's your take on it? Again, I will send you this PowerPoint by email if you want it. Tweak it, do a video about it yourselves, get the word out. Do you guys agree or not? Yeah, I hope it's helped you guys. I hope it's helped you guys, kind of some food for thought. You know, nothing. You know, I'm not saying this is going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen, but it's it could really definitely. It seems like it is happening in some shape or form. Now, for the next slide, what other things could we potentially could happen? What other things? How can we benefit from this even more? Right, so coming to the end of this now. Thank you if you're still here. Thank you for watching, and thank you for listening to this. So I appreciate your attention span. I know it's a lot to take in, but what else could happen? Well, I think let's look at Litecoin again. And I know some of you guys don't like Litecoin. It's like whatever. Alright, fair enough. That's your opinion. Litecoin is referred to as the silver to Bitcoin. Litecoin always goes up when Bitcoin goes up. Let's actually have a look. Let's check what Litecoin's up to at the moment. So this is live right now, so we'll see. Oh look, oh wow, yeah. So Litecoin's done a massive spike. Look at that. So Bitcoin as well, since starting this video, it's gone up by $4 already. So yeah, so as you can see here, again, it's all in the proofs in the pudding, man. Litecoin has spiked up by 2%. It's now at $3.74. It took a big dip 2 weeks ago, and I bought some. So I'm happy right now. So when Litecoin goes up, Bitcoin goes up, Litecoin seems to go up as well. Are you seeing this? MaidSafe coin is also up. NEM. I wonder, what's your take on NEM? What do you guys think of it? I used to have some, but I sold it. But what do you guys think of NEM, actually? That's an interesting one. I think it's Japanese or something. I don't know what these other ones are. Zcash, that got me in a bit of trouble the other day. I got a comment called a Zcash shill. That was quite funny. I don't even promote Zcash. All I say about Zcash is to dump it into Bitcoin. Swiss coin, I don't know what that is, but you know, it's quite an interesting day in the crypto universe. Right, I'm digressing. So yeah, Litecoin is surged up. Just, you know, so what does this mean? What do you guys think? Litecoin Bitcoin ratio is undervalued. Totally, if you guys believe it or not. Litecoin is a more efficient version of Bitcoin. It is, I think it's 82 million that are to be minted or mined with Litecoin. So it is definitely a silver version of Bitcoin. It is. It's more advanced and it's stable overall compared to a lot of the others. If we do see $40,000 Bitcoins, if we do see that, or when we see that, in whatever year comes, we could see the ratio of Litecoin spike up, which means Litecoin could reach, you know, grands potentially in 2018 perhaps. Remember, Litecoin's halving is a year after Bitcoin's, so take that into consideration. But I don't know, it's just food for thought. So there are potentially other ways you can make some bank from this. But I would say buy and hold Bitcoin. Personally, that's what I think it seems to be the best thing to do. So you may not want to cash it into dollars or pounds or paper money or anything else. So think about it. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you so much for watching. Like, it's been a long one. As you've just seen in this entire video, I mean, it's still morning time over here. It's 22nd of December. So you've seen the prices. I don't know if you guys can see the clock at the bottom of the screen. I don't think I can I move that? Let me see. There we go. There we go. I'll probably jam things. So here you go. That's the time, the date, all legit. So yeah, so let me know what you guys think, and let me know what you guys think will happen with Bitcoin in the long run. What will happen perhaps in the next 10 years? Let me know. Subscribe and like the video. Do you guys agree with this? Do you think it's total bullshit, or do you think there's truth in this? For those of you who are a bit more skeptical, that's fair enough. That's fine. I mean, you know, you're entitled to your opinion, but look. Oh, that wrong one. But look, it's almost identical. It's almost identical, and now we're in the next one. Okay. So if you want this PDF, this PowerPoint, I can send it as a PDF. Leave your emails below. I'll send it to you. I'll send it to you. And you guys can have a look as well. So thank you to the people who have told me, shared this information with me and the content. And we've discussed this, and and I've done my research with this as well. So thank you to everyone who's put their input into this. So keep sending me info, man. I hope I've done you guys justice. Leave a comment below, subscribe, and yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great day, good morning, and I'll make another video very, very soon. Okay.